That's a show right there, man. We'll see you now. Thank you.
I'm going to offset unsports.
Welcome to the real winners and losers of UFL Week 2. Other ones are fake. Thanks to everyone, though, who watched Week 1. Honestly, Week 1 felt a little more like a preseason slate of games, but dang, Week 2 boasted 3 really good games. The Brahmas had an incredible comeback. The Battlehawks broke attendance records, and the biggest winner was me. For watching the Battlehawks and Renegades game Saturday night, unlike that fake-ass jabroni rock guy who was busy with his wrestling ballet trying to impress Tom Grassi. And just like The Undertaker, I'm gonna chokeslam you with the Blop 5 plays. Blop 5! In the UFL, shoe spray leads to sacks. What?
Yeah, I got caught, but I'm just gonna laugh.
And be an athlete, Kirk.
Keyword bit.
Ball's out.
Pops out.
Is this like that shit from Mad Max, but for your feet? Block 4, the trick play Andy Reid will be dreaming about all offseason. Fitting, considering St. Louis is probably where the Chiefs are going to be playing soon. Block 3, just like Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, Luis Perez caught his own pass. And just like Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, he lost the game against a Missouri-based team. Blop 2, if you pretend like they're saying jism, and it's pretty easy to do, then I want to hear Kiki Chisholm set the touchdown record.
Once again, Chisholm!
And Blop 1, Reggie Northrup doing a spot-on young Mike Tyson impression.
These motherfuckers, they can't with us. We are the most vicious, most dangerous team in the land. And so these guys. If I hit a like this, I'm gonna talk to him like this. I promise you. He can't stop me.
That impression is so spot on that I truly believe Reggie Northrup could bite directly through a player's helmet and take off his ear. And yeah, Blop 0, the beer snake is out of hibernation, everyone. It's the fastest growing animal in the world, and considering its contribution to heart and liver disease, it is still one of the deadliest. YouTuber and UFL kicker Destroying literally had one of the best tackles of the weekend. I already respected Destroying, and now I'm officially jealous of how talented that man is. We had the Brahmas defeating the Showboats 2019. This game gets my winning comeback. We may not know what a Brahmas is, a parrot or a secret item at Chipotle. We will never know.
Chisholm!
But they had the greatest comeback this week after being the only victorious XFL team in Week 1. All great comebacks, though, start with the deficit. The Showboats jumped out to a double-digit lead over Wade Phillips' unit. Memphis allowed just like 14 yards of offense in the first half, and I think two first downs through 3 quarters, something like that. They led 16-0 at the end of the third, which makes you think I'd give them winning defense. Wrong. That's going to San Antonio, whose red zone D held the Showboats to 4 red zone field goal attempts.
2nd and 26. Cookus again floats one deep. Man-to-man coverage. That ball was in the air forever, and it's reeled in by Adams. And he'll bang it through.
Once again, Chisholm!
Winning outrage? Boats head coach John DeFilippo, who lost it.
He can't change his mind! He can't change his mind!
Kicking ball, right?
Yes, he can't change his mind!
This is how Cowboys fans reacted when Randy Gregory ended up signing with the Broncos a couple years ago.
How can you change your mind?
All right, the comeback. Marquez Stevenson scored the first touchdown in the 4th quarter for San Antonio, and he earns the Rude Guy Award for throwing the football at the camera person after the TD. Remember, I'm a stickler for how we treat those camera nerds. That was capped off by an even harsher critic of the camera, John Lovett, for the conversion to cut Memphis's lead in half. The Boats drove down the field only to suffer the losing play of the weekend. Case Cookus fumbles the handoff on 3rd and goal. Did he trip? Was the fullback out of position? I don't know, but they settled for another field goal. Their red zone offense is what destroyed them. Winning almost loser? which makes him a back-to-back winning QB this week, Chase Gabers. Chase, who finished the day with a very impressive 287 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and led the team with 20 rushing yards through what I thought was a game-ending pick with less than 5 minutes on the clock. That's when, like a true fool, I stopped watching and went to the grocery store. I went to Kroger, Gabers went to Kirkland for the second Brahmas TD. San Antonio couldn't convert and elected to go for the first alt down of the season. Pick up a 4th and 12, and they keep the ball like an onside kick. Pick it up they did, taking us to the finish of all finishes, finished by my winning finisher, Cody Latimer. He set up the Kirkland TD earlier, and then he hauled in the game winner. That's former Broncos receiver Cody Latimer. Ended the day with 8 receptions, 91 yards in that final TD. Cody had 1 catch last week, I believe. And remember, I played football with Cody Latimer last summer. Winner? My editing hero, Johnny Barks, who was at the game in St. Louis. This is what Johnny sent me from his game day experience at the Battlehawks home opener, where over 40,000 fans showed up, which is a new spring league record.
How's it going? Oh, good. You guys are losing! Hard work, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day, though. Hey, good.
If you don't know, Barks helps me and Tom Grossi edit a lot of our videos, so go check him out. He's on YouTube too. His channel, Johnny Barks. Go give him a sub. He's got a full 9-minute vlog from his Battlehawks experience. Now, after a slow first quarter, this game really started cooking. Tied into Sal Canela. Oh, you fried up the garlic on the pan with a little bit of canela oil about chicken. Sal Canela had a terrific touchdown grab at the end of the third quarter, followed by a too small celebration, a through the legs move, and then an illegal dice game celebration. That's too many celebrations on one play, Sal. I'd revoke the touchdown there if this were my league. Pick one, man. Winning receiver Marcel Aitman had another huge touchdown. How can a man who just ate always be this hungry? 8 had a big catch last week. 2 in this game, broke 100 receiving yards. I believe he was the first wide receiver to do it in the UFL and became the first ball catcher with multiple touchdowns in the same game. Winning prophecy? Did the broadcast predict Bo Nix to the Broncos?
His quarterbacks there, Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix.
And then running back Mateo Durant broke 100 rushing yards for the first time this season. Renegades QB Luis Perez, though, fired right back with the deep pass to J.P. Payton. And oh fuck, we have an official shootout. No guns, just pure unadulterated spring league fuckball. A nice rushing TD by Davion Smith, followed by another dream trick play that would leave Andy Reid needing to change his sheets once he woke from his spring slumber. This was as good of a football game as you could ask for. Having 3 or 4 highly competitive games is really, really good for the league. Now, if they can figure out how to get people to show up to all the games like Battlehawk fans, the UFL will be unstoppable. Nothing will stop it, except for maybe COVID 2.0.
Drafted in a China league by the Shanghai Skywalkers.
Fortunately for the Gades, this game really came down to a missed field goal with a $1:55 left in the game. But I think it was the pass defended the play before by corner Chris Peyton Jones that deserves all the flowers for keeping the Battlehawks in this one late. St. Louis was able to keep their final drive alive because of a PI on 3rd and 10, and then on the next play, running back Mateo Durant breaks free. The best running back last week was Mateo Durant of the Battlehawks. That run set up the game-winning kick. Durant spent 4 years at Duke before an offseason in 2022 with the Pittsburgh Steelers and eventually landed on the Battlehawks last year. Against Arlington, Durant had 104 yards on just 14 carries, including a 1-yard TD that broke the tie in the second quarter. Durant is now the 3rd leading rusher in the United Football League behind CJ Maribel and Adrian Martinez, despite only playing in week 2. Stallions best the Panthers 2013. And I can tell you who will never be on an NFL roster. Panthers linebacker DeMarquise Gates, who missed week 1 for a wedding. Was it his own wedding? Yes, but I question his dedication to the game. Now, winner of an NFL job is kicker Jake Bates, who blasted another 60-plus yard field goal this weekend. I don't even know if I've ever seen an NFL kicker tickle the gooch from 60 in back-to-back weeks.
Good! Build him the statue right now!
And I hope he is following in Brandon Aubrey's footsteps, pun intended, and crushes it in the NFL this upcoming season. Winning rushing team? Again, it is the Stallions. And again, both quarterbacks, Matt Corral and Adrian Martinez, got reps, and that's apparently the plan moving forward. A true QB tandem approach. The Stallions had more rushing than passing yards in this game, 161 to 141. And unlike last week, Martinez was the more effective passer in addition to doing more work with his legs. 65 rushing yards for Martinez in this game, most for the Stallions. But the emerging group in my glaucoma-ridden eyes is the Stallions defense, who sacked the Panthers so many times I thought they were pre-Dan Campbell's Lions. 7 sacks, 2 turnovers, 8 tackles for losses. Just a dominant performance top to bottom. They limited last week's leading rusher Wes Hills to just 10 yards on 7 carries. They essentially gave up one massive play to the Panthers, a 76-yard TD to Marcus Sims. Welcome to the simulation. Even with that play, the Panthers still had barely more than 200 yards of total net offense. The Stallions moved to 2-0 and remain the only unbeaten USFL team. And to close out the week, we had the Roughnecks falling to the Defenders, 23-18. Winning political message?
Well, leave it to football to be the thing that brings people together in D.C.
That's right. The only thing that can bring us together in DC is football. The Defenders are now 10-0 at home. This game started with a blocked punt, and the excitement escalated quickly as a few plays later, Corn the Elder takes the ball 98 yards on the longest pick 6 in UFL history. Now, Corn spent time in the NFL, but in maybe the greatest tragedy in college sports, played his college ball with the Hurricanes instead of, Nebraska. The Defenders answered back with a great methodical drive. I thought quarterback Jordan Tayamu looked sharp on that drive, making quick, smart decisions. And Darius Haggins tied it up with the touchdown run in the red zone. Tayamu would finish the day with 2 TDs, made a few big throws, but only completed 50% of his passes. Less is Briley Moore with the winning catch of the weekend, a one-hander batting the ball to himself to give his Defenders the lead right before halftime. Well, technically a tie, as Houston followed that with a one-footed field goal, but you know what I mean. Unfortunately, this week's losing quarterback is former Denver Bronco and current Houston Roughneck Jarrett Garantano, who was only in the lineup for the first quarter against the Defenders before going down with a back injury. Before exiting the game, Garantano had a tough time moving the ball. I'm not making him the losing QB just because he got hurt. Mostly because Reed Sinnett, former Miami Dolphin, stepped up and carved up DC in Garantano's absence. Despite the loss, Sinnett threw for 221 yards and a touchdown pass on the run to Kiki.
Once again, Chisholm, touchdown Houston.
Meanwhile, Garantano is going to be sidelined for the next month with his back injury, and there's no Garantano. He's going to get that job back when he is healthy. I thought Houston was going to get the win after that Kiki Jism TD. The other Kiki, though, yes, there are 2 in this game. Kiki Cutie dropped a big pass across the middle. Meet a Kiki Cutie, and you might just have a Kiki Jism.
Complete of Kiki Cootie.
And the play that changed it all, losing ball security. DeAndre Baker chases down a streaking Kurt Merritt, who nearly broke the game open for the Roughnecks. This might actually be the most clutch play of the entire week. Houston was on the verge of building a 2-score lead, and after this play, DC was able to close out the game with 11 straight points. A 4th and 7 conversion by the Defenders until Tayamu put the dagger down with this rainbow to Ty Scott. His one and only catch in the game was also the game winner. Great Scott! And finally, the Kirk Cousins Award. This week, the Kirk Cousins Award is going to the aforementioned Reed Sinnett, who was excellent in the next loss to DC, but also to the Blue Jays and the Yankees. In the top of the 5th inning, Yankees relief pitcher Jake Cousins faced Blue Jays catcher Alejandro Kirk, resulting in a walk. But get this, Jake Cousins, who was just added to the Yankees bullpen last week, is in fact the cousin of Kirk Cousins, making him one of Cousins' cousins. Cousins. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports here on YouTube. Please subscribe. Hopefully I'm healthy, so I'll be on time with my videos this week. I appreciate everybody being patient and still watching the vids we popped out late last week. Thank you guys so much. Did you watch the Michael Penix episode yet?